them talk shooting shots, they just want me to fade. But my game made when I'm getting buckets today. Crossover, pull up, bet you fall for the hezzy. Game 7 prime time is butterflies on your belly, now can you do it? Folding under the pressure, boy, can you do it? Is you going, show 'em who better? Don't let the game slip and don't get caught in the lights. Crown me, yeah, Jordan taking off on the
Baby,
flight.
give me all the rings right now, we the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done. Give me all the rings right now, we the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, man? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? It's your boy AB, and we're back. And we're back. And I know some of you guys are like, back? Like, where'd you go? Who are you? Well, my name is AB. This is Open Gym. We're finally back. As you can see, I know I got some old people, not old people, but you know, the originals, the OGs, the fans that were here in the beginning, the people who's rocking out with me in the beginning that are here. But as you can see, we are broadcasting live on a new channel as well on YouTube. Philly Sports Network, my new partner, Open Gym Network, will be here. It will be here. It will be here. I appreciate everyone here at Philly Sports Network for, you know, taking this time out, you know, letting a guy like me into their presence, into this realm and into this faction, as we call Philly Sports Network, that brings you great content, great writing, great videos, great everything each and every day, covering our Philly sports. And for all the guys who are, and all the people who are new to the show, new to me, my name is AB. I'm your host of Open Gym. Of Open Gym Show on Open Gym Network. This is a Philly, just a little synopsis of where this started from, what this is about, rather. This is definitely a Philly-based show. We definitely, like I said, my home team, my hometown, Philadelphia. I love all the teams here in Philly. Phillies, the Sixers, Flyers, Union, Eagles, whoever it might be. I rock out for my team and my city as always. But it's definitely a Philly-based sports show. But definitely as well, we cover, you know, different things that's going on around our national leagues, NFL, baseball, hockey, football, wherever it might be, basketball, whatever it might be. We cover little things as well. So, you know, this is Open Gym, man. You know, is how I even came up with this show. I used to think about back in the day, you know, just a little synopsis for people who's new here. Back in the day, who you know, you went to gym class, you know, it wasn't nothing like that Friday afternoon, where it's just you go to gym and you don't have anything structured, anything to do, but it's, you know, open gym. Do whatever you want. Play football, baseball, handball, wall ball, whatever it might be. So there's no holds barred. Create your own teams, create your own narratives, create your own discussions, your talks, whatever you might want to do. This is the place to be at Open Gym. Real discussions, real debates at times, real analysis, real breakdowns of what's going on with our Philly sports teams and around the leagues all together. So I appreciate you guys being here with me. Appreciate you guys, Philly Sports Network, for allowing me to be here. Anything else I got to say? Get all the pleasantries out the way. Also, as you can see, Open Gym Network is a brand as well. We do have green for our Eagles fans, green hats and black hats as well, with the O, the side patch on the side as well, with the logo. That will be dropping real soon, in a matter of weeks, actually. But you know, that's just all that is just to, you know, help this channel, help this company, help this movement grow, essentially, as we bring you more and more content each and every day. Try to bring the best content, the most interesting content, and the best and real content out here. Because, you know, it's a lot of, you know, clickbait things that's going on, and a lot of people do a lot of good work out here as well. But I try to keep it as normal, as funky, as real as I possibly can. And I know real is like a cliche nowadays, but definitely something I try to do, that I know as Philly fans, for sure, we don't sugarcoat anything. That's for sure. So if we feel something and we believe something, we gonna definitely let you know. So again, I'm your boy AB. This is Open Gym, and this is Philly Sports Network, Metro Philadelphia, all those things. We got all the pleasantries out the way. So thank you for allowing me into your homes at this moment. But let's get right into it. The NFL is back. The NFL is back, people. We are back in full effect. Hurts poor decision making. Oh, we already started. They already in here, but we're gonna get to it right away, man. We in full effect. Week one is upon us. It's about to conclude very soon. Week one, we got the last game tonight, which is Monday night. But let's start off with our Birds, with our Eagles, man. Week one, Friday night, 8:00. Down in Brazil, the first ever game in Brazil, Eagles versus the Green Bay Packers. The Eagles went on to beat the Packers 34-29. Woo! I mean, it was definitely up and down. It was a bit sloppy at times as well. But we're going to get right into it. And definitely, I appreciate you guys stepping in and I see the comments already coming through. So keep them coming. Keep your comments, your concerns, your frustrations, whatever you got to do. And whatever you got to say, keep them in there. We're going to touch a lot of them this morning as well. But let me just break down what's going on. So the Eagles beat the Packers 34-29. Like I said, it was definitely an up and down game as well. Definitely down to the wire in the case. Jalen Hurts, 2 for 34, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Obviously, the star of the show was Saquon Barkley as well, doing his thing. Scoring was that 3 touchdowns by himself, 1 passing, 1 rushing, 24 carries, 109 yards, averaging 4.5 yards a carry. A.J. Brown chipped in with 5 catches, 119 yards, and 1 touchdown. Devontae Smith, 7 catches, 84 yards. Dallas Goedert, 4 for 31. Saquon Barkley, 2 for 31. On the Packers side, Jordan Love, definitely 17 for 34, 260 yards, 2 TDs. Josh Jacobs finally got it going late a little bit. 16 carries, 84 yards. Jaden Reed, we all know he torched us that Friday night just off of four catches, 138 yards, and a touchdown. So, I mean, that's the gist of it as far as what the players have done. We all know, let's start there, get it out the way. Saquon Barkley was the star of the show, as we all know, catching the pass, running touchdowns in as well. It was on full display. Saquon Barkley was definitely as advertised when he came into this season. When we signed with this team, rather, I should say. They said he wasn't quick with the bursts, couldn't move fast. Things was declining. I didn't see much decline there. I know it's early. I know it's game one, but we have to be honest about, what we've seen and what was said coming into it, because I know it probably gave us a lot of trepidation as far as, what we were going to get because of what we seen in New York the previous years. But we always, man, we can look to that and look at the Giants situation compared to the Eagles situation, where you got one of the best offensive line, if not the best offensive line in the NFL, with the Philadelphia Eagles, versus the worst, if not the worst, offensive line in the past couple of years in the NFL, in the New York Giants. And if you want to go the surrounding skill positions around them, you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and others, versus I don't know who the Giants had the past couple of years, from Slayton to whoever else you want to sit there and name, essentially, like they're out there. And then, most important caveat of it all is the quarterback. You have Jalen Hurts, who was in a MVP running one year, went to a Super Bowl, had a down year last year, but, still a promising young quarterback in his league, versus Daniel Jones. Do I have to say more? I don't even have to go through the subsequent analogy or things that Daniel Jones is. As you can see, just after this week alone, the fans was outside waiting for him, booing him as he came out, telling them to give the money back. So that explains it in itself. So the two different situations and contrasts as far as this team and that team, I always went into the situation already knowing that this would probably be a more suitable situation for him, where he was literally the focal point on offense to create anything for the Giants, let alone just being just another piece to the puzzle of what we got here in Philadelphia. Like I said, rushing wise, only 24 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and then he added two receiving catches, 23 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. So you're talking about 24 to 5. So you're talking about a total of 26 touches overall for Saquon Barkley in the night, whereas in the past, Saquon Barkley is getting it 30 plus times a game just for the Giants to have a fighting chance, essentially, like that. So that's definitely something that I always went into the situation knowing that, less touches. We know what he can do with the ball. He doesn't need much. He doesn't need much space. He has the burst. He has the quickness for the home run. It's just a matter of being surrounded by a team that's suitable for him to be the best that he can be. And we seen it on the full display Friday night. I mean, I've never seen. Well, we seen it here as Eagles, but I know Saquon was probably running and probably realizing, like, for 3 to 4 yards, he's literally running through holes, not being touched until 3 or 4 yards down the field. So I know that probably was just like something that was like mind-boggling and mind-blowing to him, to just be able to even have a game like that, knowing how much space he has going through that game, when you got like guys like Devontae Smith and AJ Brown having so much attention on them. It was bound to open up the game for Saquon. So definitely debut party for Saquon Barkley. We appreciate you. And I can't wait to see what's to come down the line. That was amazing as far as your coming out party, and you are officially an Eagle, Saquon Barkley. You're officially an Eagle. So since we got that out the way, let's break down this game. Just thinking about it. Like you said, I see you guys in the chat. Definitely gonna be pulling up some of your comments. We're gonna discuss and talk about as well. But definitely, the game. What side we want to start on? Let's start defense. The game, defense. A lot of mixed emotions, a lot of different things that was going on within the defense. Let's start with the fact that the corners, I'm good. I know that we came into this season feeling like, not feeling anyway, but being up in the air. We have an aging cornerback in Darius Slay. Obviously the James Bradbury situation, who he's currently going on IR now. A lot of young pieces. We had a lot of young players in here to play the DB positions, but would they really suffice and really be that? I could tell you game one, obviously the injury to Isaiah Rodgers, who I was looking forward to see he was going to get the start outside at this number 2 cornerback as well. I was hyped to see him as well, but he didn't play because he got hurt. So insert the rookie, Quentin Mitchell. Great. Couldn't ask for a better situation. Game one, he didn't look the moment didn't look too big for him. He looked fluent. It was just great just to even see that we actually had a cornerback that could run. I mean, it was one pass down the line to, I believe it was Christian Watson, left side of the field, down the left side of the field, and literally running with him stride for stride. And then the one thing we ain't seen for years here in Philadelphia is actually a cornerback turning around, looking for the ball while it's in the air. Quentin Mitchell definitely was great to see him do that. Definitely was great to see him out there. Like I said, the moment didn't look too big. He obviously wasn't perfect, but as perfect as you can get for a first start first time rookie coming into this league and you just being thrust into the situation, knowing hours before the game even started that you'll be starting at the corner, because I believe he was starting at nickel at the time. Avante Maddox led to the nickel while Quinion was on the outside. So the outsides, I feel real comfortable with that as well. The nickel, definitely going to be some work that has to be done when it comes to the nickel position as well. Avante Maddox, definitely solid player. When he's healthy, he can be serviceable. He wasn't terrible, but there were times in the game, especially late in the second half, they was picking on him a lot. He's definitely slowed down a little slower. Definitely still a bit of a short tackler, smart out there. So I'm not mad at him having to be the starter if it comes down to that. But at the same time, if we can upgrade at it, if like let's say next week, this upcoming Monday night when we play the Atlanta Falcons, if they're saying Isaiah Rodgers is back here at the outside, it looks like most likely Quentin Mitchell probably be sliding back to the inside to the nickel. So you have that there as well. The safeties, still love CJ Gardner-Johnson back. The talking, the attitude, the grit. That's one thing about the defense that I did respect and I seen out of it was they fought. They looked tough. They didn't look passive. They tackled. Even if they missed something, they still tackle with ferocity, downhill, right at you. Like I said, CJ Gardner-Johnson still out there laying big hits. Laying big hits. Covering the field, defending well. Reed Blankenship as well. Gotta give the guy credit. I'm not the biggest fan. Not that I'm not a fan of Reed Blankenship. I like Reed Blankenship a lot. Do not let me rephrase that. I like Reed Blankenship a lot. I just feel like we definitely still can upgrade there. Just a little slow, but he definitely is very smart. Definitely can get the job done. So I'm not mad at him. But if it was an upgrade to come, I wouldn't be shocked or like upset, you know what I'm saying? But definitely like Reed Blankenship. Reed Blankenship had a nice interception. Aaron, I'm about to call him Aaron Rodgers. Oh Lord, Jordan Love pass, cut it off, intercepted. They got the ball back for us, so that definitely was good to see from him. And I'm gonna be surprised. I mean, I'm gonna be honest as well. We all know as Eagles fans, definitely for sure, everyone wasn't as high up on someone like a Nakobe Dean, and then also going into the situation of Zach Bond, him coming from New Orleans, not really being a full-time, starter, essentially like that, more of a special teams guy. All right, a special teams guy. For him, for his first game, his coming out party, those two guys paired together, which we'll get into. Devin White didn't even make the trip, let alone started the game mysteriously. But those two guys, they showed up. They played downhill. They made tough tackles. They made hard tackles. They recognized it was one play by Nakobe Dean. He recognized the screen was coming, went around and made the big hit on the defender as he caught the ball. So I definitely like that duel right now. If they continue to play like that right now going forward, that's definitely something that I can see working well. But again, it's early. It was Brazil. The field was sloppy. There's a lot of different factors, and overall just early. We know in the NFL, the beginning of the season, first 4 weeks can be up and down, and a lot of different things that are going on. But by the time you get to week 5 on, things start to settle down. Talent starts to rise and decrease. The people who are overachieving come back down to earth. The people who weren't achieving high enough start to rise. They play. So we definitely will see how that go as games go on. And then obviously the Devin White situation. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened in that situation. They say an injury, but I mean, practice most of the week and then don't even make the trip at all when you got a guy like Isaiah Rodgers who was hurt as well, prior to leaving, still went and tried to attempt to play. So you still have that. Yes, sir, Dean and Bond look good Friday, absolutely. But, those guys look good. Zach Bond, I believe he led the team in tackles, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Had a sack or two as well. Defensive line, Jalen Carter, we all know that guy is going to be a beast. As of right now, I just don't see much around him. Week 1, long season to go. I get it. Not going to overreact. Going to take this, game by game as we continue to build more of a sample size of how this defensive line go. But if you want to just go off of week 1, I would give the defensive line run stopping early good. Later on in the game, Josh Jacobs gashed him a bit at times, but at the same time, the issue of run stopping definitely was an issue going into it when you adding guys like Bryce Huff and things of that nature. But look good. But pass rush, that's the issue. Didn't see enough of it. Bryce Huff might have been focusing a little bit more on the run fits, but again, didn't see enough. Had some pressures there most of the time from Jada Carter, who was getting double, triple team all night, held all night. The refs not calling it. Got close to Jordan Love a couple times. Hitting him, deflecting the pass or altering the pass, having him run out of the pocket. So he's, like I said, Jalen Carter, I have no issue with. That's only going to grow as long as he stays in shape, stays focused. That's going to grow, and he's going to be amazing for years to come. We talking about defensive player of the year conversations the year to come. But them edges, I still believe the Eagles need something on the edges. Again, small sample size first game, but again, something to look to as the game and as the season goes along. But these are things that I seen game 1 that coming out of training camp were questions and are still questions defensively. And some things were answered as well defensively. Like I said, the corners, we was coming into the situation. It was big. It was big as far as knowing what to do. How it will look, rather, I should say, how it will look with all these new players. But they look good for the first game. And again, the Packers wide receivers aren't slouches. I'm not saying the Packers wide receivers are Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, but if we're just talking about, let's say, speed, all of them running 4.3s, 4.4s, essentially like that. So that's something that definitely needs to be looked at as a team, because, like I said, they did get the safeties that time. It was a bad one by C.J. Gardner-Johnson as well. Gave up a touchdown, But again, corners, good. Linebackers, week 1, good. Safeties, solid. Can be better. Defensive line needs work on the edges to get more pressure. Jalen Carter's a stud. Jordan Davis, you did well as well. Didn't flash, didn't get any sacks, didn't do anything like that. But as far as, being out there, I believe the stat is saying he was out there for 62% of the snaps, essentially. So you have that as well. Offense, let's get into it. Offensively, obviously, A.J. Brown, great. Devontae, great. Dallas, great. Saquon, great. Offensive line, absolutely amazing. Offensive line, Beckham, Lane, Cam, obviously some situations with Cam Jurgens and Jalen Hurts. There was one situation he snapped the ball early, lost the ball. Then also on the tush push down in the end zone, a botch the snap when it comes to that. But again, great. Overall, Mailata, Landon Dickinson, absolutely amazing. Like I said, Saquon was running 3-4 yards before he was even being touched. So that was great. But let's get into the prime subject of this stream, Jalen Hurts. And we got one here. I guess we can pull this up. So we got Hurts' poor decision making and holding on to the ball too long didn't help. Jurgens can't do the tush push if he. I talked about that as well. Let's get into Jalen Hurts. My synopsis, what I looked at when it came to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, if I had to sit there and rate his performance, solid performance, this is probably higher than most people would put him at. I would put him at a B-, at a B at the most when it comes to Jalen Hurts and his performance. And here's why. I know I'm going to get a lot of a lot of pushback when it comes to this. But Yeah, the field sucked just like Phoenix. Absolutely. I don't. It might have been the same. Might have been the same guy who actually did the field. Yeah, Maddox not looks recovered. Yeah, like I say, he looks a step slower. Absolutely, but Jalen Hurts, man, um, ups and downs. I know he threw picks. I know he was indecisive as at times, maybe bailed out here and there out of the pocket a little earlier. Some of the things we had trepidation about last year going into this season, I can see how people can be worried, and see that, and have some trepidation into the season. But I also wanted to sit here and say I don't understand the big or how down or how frustrated or how we are already week one deciding that this is such a bad thing for Jalen Hurts, or that he can't be better, or they're questioning how good he can be off of one game. Because when I look at it and I look at the game and how Jalen Hurts played, like I said, great throws were made. When you're talking about the pass to Saquon Barkley, where he literally, you couldn't have put the ball any closer or any better in that position, the way he threw that ball to the corner of the end zone like that. Like, there's literally no other place you could have put the ball to where your player was the only player to be able to catch that pass and still get his feet in the score. Then further down the line on the A.J. Brown catch for a touchdown. After running into the defender and then correcting his route, where Jalen Hurts placed the ball over his shoulder right in the breadbasket where he could catch it and continue to run and even be able to make that touchdown run. That was an amazing pass in itself. The pass down the stretch to essentially get even though we didn't score, but essentially get the 3 points to basically make it a two score, make it to the Packers have to actually score to win the game. Great passes, slants. It was not a crosser route. It was an in route as well to the Devontae Smith. Great passes in coverage on the money, leading him to where he could catch it in stride, and be able to safely secure a first down, essentially like that. So it's like there were plays that were made from Jalen Hurts passing the ball to his receivers and everyone else. But again, there were some bad ones. The interception down the middle field. Don't know what he was looking at. The one that could have been a pick six later on to the sideline that they just dropped. Obviously had a fumble in there as well. So the turnovers, I wouldn't say not a concern, but I look at it more so as the fact of has to be cleaned up. Things that can be cleaned up. And I also believe, as this last comment just stated as well, which I also do believe as well, that this is a product of no preseason as well. As you at the start of the game, you seen the defense come out firing, knowing what to do, not really, confused. Obviously, it's a long football game. Adjustments are made, so things happen. But overall, you seen from the defense what you wanted to see from the offense. And like I said, I am a component of playing a preseason game. I'm not saying you got to play 3 quarters, whole halves, anything like that, but just to get your feet wet, feel the speed of the game, get hit maybe once or twice, see live action. It can only benefit you. And it's seen that the Eagles came out slow. First 2 possessions of the game, we didn't score and they gave the ball back. One was a turnover and one was a punt. Sloppy play, alignments wasn't correct, false starts, penalties, things of that nature. These are things that you can work on within the preseason. Knock off the rest. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely. Yeah. I don't agree with this being the team's preseason, but I do agree. I do agree that they probably approached these first couple games as preseason, as far as trying new things, as far as trying to institute things. But wouldn't you agree that if there are things to be instituted, that if there are things that need to be done or tried out, try that in the preseason? You know, again, you could do that within the first 15 scripted plays in the first on your first drive in the preseason. Again, you don't have to play the whole preseason. I understand the Eagles have a they tend to lean on the side of caution per se, but they want to, you know, they want to keep the guys healthy and safe because they can be ready for the season. I understand it, but there's a middle place for all these things. We just literally just seen it on our own team with Vic Fangio. He played starters in the preseason. The only player I believe didn't play as much, or if at all, I want to say was Darius Slay, that I can, off the top of my mind, can definitively say, because even guys like Jaden Carter, Nolan Smith, who played one preseason game, damn near the whole game, Jordan Davis, the whole offensive line, Sweat, I don't believe was out there much as well. The linebackers, all of them, even Devin White, all the safeties, like I said, everybody played, and you seen that offensively. No one really played of importance that mattered. But I do agree it will get better. This isn't the end all to be all when it comes to this offense, and I do see the positive in it as well. But just to get back on Jalen just for a little bit, I don't understand the big ruckus around Jalen Hurts right now, simply because of the fact that I seen the good as well. And the things that we are speaking about that you have trepidation about, all things that can be corrected. And let's take it a step further. I can be I'm about to say ass. I can be that too if you make me mad enough, but I can be a half glass filled guy as well, and put it to you this way. There were also things that we wanted to see from Jalen and this offense that they also showed. Pre-snap motion. Can Jalen determine zone, man, and if it's a blitzer coming? Can Jalen react to the blitz and get the ball out quickly? Obviously, we have one play in particular that we all see vividly that flashed because he stood in the pocket and took a hit as well, was all out blitz, and he threw it to the left sideline to AJ Brown. While it was a free man coming, he got hit. So these are the things that I'm looking at. I was like, can he get better? Is he showing that improvement in those things? And I've seen that. Again, there were things that came back to whereas the up and down aspect that I speak of, that he also made some bad decisions as well. Not seeing the safety when he threw it and he threw that pick. Being late or being hesitant to, excuse me, to pull the trigger I believe it was Devontae Smith, and almost got an interception on the sideline. But again, being able to decipher the blitz, get rid of it quick. There was a lot of quick decision passes. I love the two passes that were to Dallas Goedert, crossing routes the one was a crossing route, got it to him in stride, catching it. It was another blitz at that. He's running on and off on the races. Another one, Dallas Goedert down the sideline on the comeback route, back shoulder. Like things like that we want to see from our quarterback that only make him better. Those are the things I'm saying. Can he at least do it? Because if he can at least do it, now we can sit there and hone on it and work on it and get better at it. Again, escape the pocket at times. And then I know there's this unction about him and his running. He doesn't look as fast and things of that nature like that. Granted, we all know Jalen Hurts put on some weight or some muscle as well, but I also put that on the field as well. And I can almost be certainty, if we all know our Eagles, they side on the side of caution at all times. So I can only imagine them speaking with him and all their players essentially, as far as, taking care of themselves out there on the field. The field was terrible. They were changing spikes during the game, all those type of things. So I'm not going to put too much credence into the fact of how they were running. Everyone was slipping and sliding and falling, things like that. But y'all tell me, what do you guys think when it comes to Jalen Hurts? How you feel about Jalen Hurts? What grades you give him on that on Friday night, and then how you even perceive him going forward this season? Is it going to be a MVP season for him? Me personally, I don't think he need to be MVP for us to win a championship. Is he above average? You can win one, absolutely, but I personally believe he's among the greater quarterbacks, top 10, even with the ability, if everything start clicking, being a top 5 quarterback within this NFL. I do truly believe he has that ability in him, because not only if we get the mechanics and things of that nature ready for him, I also believe just the special ability of him just being a winner as well, I believe, is something that I believe he can do. So let me know what you believe about Jalen. Agree, how you feel about him, game 1 and even going forward into this season. By winning by running the ball instead of passing the ball like you did, Dougie P. I think we're pretty sold on that. These Eagles team wants to throw the ball, that's for sure. But with a guy like Barkley in the backfield, I know it definitely is going to make it hard not to give that man the ball as much as you can, running the ball essentially like that. I see we got a C+. He came through in the clutch as he normally does, and that's fair. That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair. To give him a C+, because again, you can go, like I said B-, B at the highest, because like I said, there are things that he do need to work on when it comes to that. So Jalen Hurts, I believe, like I said, I agree, C+, B-, B at the highest respect. Let me get to some of these comments. Let's try to answer some of these before we move on. Saquon was lightning fast. Absolutely, Saquon was sensational. Game 1. Saquon, I have no ill will. I have no issues with Saquon for game 1 and even moving forward, essentially like that. Saquon is definitely someone that I have no issues with. He'll continue to be who he needs to be, essentially like that. What else? Let's see. We got the first half was giving me heartburn. Absolutely. I got to say it was an ugly game. It was an ugly game. It was not good. The field didn't help. Them coming out semi-flat, that didn't help as well. So that's definitely something to be looking at. Let's see what else we got. We got here. Field sucked. The defense won the game. Absolutely, defense won the game. Well, held it down. You still got to score points to win in the NFL. Unless the defense is out there scoring them 34 points, I don't think they would have won that game. But again, where so many questions going into the season, I absolutely agree. The defense played a big part. The defense kept them in the game. Let's be real. If you want to talk about it, the defense kept the Eagles in the game. We're talking about after they scored 3 on their drive, you're talking about first possession, punt, I believe. No, interception. Second possession, I believe, was a punt. Either way, 2 possessions with no points. And both of them, the Green Bay ended up in the red zone and with good field position. And you talk about after all that, you're only down 6, where you potentially could have been a 14-point swing. You could have been easily down 16-0. So definitely the defense played a hell of a game. Got some gashes later on. Quentin Michaels definitely looked real good. Absolutely. Quentin Michaels definitely looked real good as a rookie. The moment didn't look too big at all for that guy. So, yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about the Eagles going forward in this season, because I feel good about these guys as well. Going for, I mean, I might by the end of this this stream, I might even move up my win percentage as well. I'm currently at about 11 to 12 wins right now with this season for sure. So Eagles, like I said, win 34-29. It's a great showing. A lot of work to do. A lot of growing to do as well. I believe it's AJ Brown who tweeted it out by himself. He said it like, great win. A lot of work to do. That's all that needs to be said. Because if you take in game one, and it's sad, but I see it even now when we on social media and Twitter and everything else. If you take game one and you're overblowing and overreacting, and you just think this just not going to be corrected, you should already see that we already know as the Philadelphia Eagles organization, and Howie Roseman specifically, he's an overcorrector. He's an overcorrector. If something goes wrong, he's going to go out and do too much for it. When we didn't need a wide receiver, we done went and got 3 of them within the past couple years. When we didn't have corners, we done went and drafted one and signed many after that. We started off training camp with about 8, 9, 10 cornerbacks on the roster, essentially like that. So when we see a problem, they overcorrect. So I have no issue, or I don't believe that they're going to go into these practices not correcting the things that they said. And again, I love what I've seen in the offense. Just to get back to it, as the offense as a whole, obviously running the ball, Jalen under center, there were motion going involved. We talking about the most simplistic things of offense that every NFL team does that we just wasn't doing, that frustrated me and all fans, I believe. And even people that aren't fans of the Eagles last year that I seen even speaking about like what are the Eagles doing on offense, just lining up and doing the same 3 plays like it was Madden out here. But pre-snap motions, reading the defense, realizing if it's man or zone or blitz coming, I felt like was a very good showing in that as far as them understanding what were the issues and what plagued them last year and what they need to work on moving forward and getting better at the thing. So Jalen Hurts, C+, B- overall Eagles team, game 1 versus the Packers. I give them a solid B-, B moving forward. All you guys, you just watch out, man. Jalen Hurts, man, he's fine. He's absolutely fine. Let's move over to the NFC East standings. We're going to talk about them for a second. Obviously, we know week 1 is almost basically done. We got the Monday night game tonight. Forgot who it was tonight, but I'll look at that up in a second. We don't know how good or bad or the Eagles until the 3rd or 4th game. I absolutely agree. Around once you get to week 5 and on, that's when things start to settle out and get things going. So definitely I agree with that as well. So like I said, NFC East. Let's move over. NFC East. Like I said, see, week 1's almost in the books. We got a Monday night game tonight. We have the NFC East. The current standings is you have your standing leading Eagles and Cowboys tied for first, and you're bringing up the Commanders and the Giants in the rear. Let's just talk about our division at the moment. And while I'm, discussing and talking about it, you write in the comments, let me know what you think about the teams around them, how they look week 1, all that. Let me know. Talk to me. We're gonna have a little chat about this for a second. So yeah, Eagles. Obviously, we spoke about them. We had the Cowboys who played the Browns, the Giants. They played yesterday, and the Commanders yesterday. I'm gonna be honest. If we just want to talk about week 1, we ain't going to go any further than week 1 because they're not going to overdo the expectations or what we just seen, essentially. But if we want to just talk about week 1, it's no way I can sit here and definitively tell you that we should be remotely worried about them, any of our division foes. And the reason why I use the word remotely is because a couple of things here. Well, there's only one thing there for the Giants. They had Daniel Jones. Do I need to go further? Y'all take your time out to go look at Daniel Jones, how he played without a guy like Saquon Barkley in the background to bail him out. literally don't have to speak anything else about that when it comes to the Giants. Commanders, again, I'm not the biggest college football guy, but I do know who's the players and the non-players that are supposed to be coming out going into the NFL. So I do a bit of research on these. I can be early or I could be, making a preconceived notion of the guy, but about Jaden Daniels, I believe his name is, the quarterback for the Washington Commanders. Don't say he can't get better. But as of right now, I don't see how the Commanders can be of any relevance this season. If this is what we're going to see from this quarterback going forward. And I say this why. Not because of scheme, because obviously as the season go on, hopefully they will, branch out and make the playbook bigger or whatever. It was just him. Just being honest, it was him. What did he do? He did not want to throw the ball whatsoever. I mean, I watched us. I almost had to turn it off, essentially like that. He didn't throw the ball. I'm looking like, is he ever going to throw the ball? And I equate this to, because what made me really tap into it, and it's funny because I had who did I have? It's fantasy, obviously, and then obviously FanDuel, things of that nature. You place your bets and things of that nature. So you had different players, and a friend of mine texted me. He was livid. He was upset. Like, what the heck is Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry? Is he even playing? Like, what is going on? Like, I thought they had a new quarterback, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, Terry McLaurin, I don't even think he recorded a catch, let alone any yards. Went into it, Jalen Daniels, only 184 yards passing and 88 yards rushing. Granted, he's young. I understand that. Took 2 sacks, but what was it, 17 for 24? He attempted 24. He completed 17. But it just wasn't throwing the ball. It was a lot of read option, run and gun. First read isn't there. I'm just going to go and I'm just going to run. And it was just like, and then when he threw the ball, I still didn't even see, like, what was the special thing about it? Was it the arm strength? Was it the accuracy? Because it wasn't like the ball was always accurate. It wasn't like the deep ball was there. I don't even think he took a deep shot. And if I did, I must have missed it, essentially, like that. This pretty much a wishing injury. So I just don't understand that. And then this defense, I mean, the defensive line is definitely still solid and things like that nature, but I just don't see the Commanders being of any relevance at this moment. So you got the Giants, Commanders still with quarterback issues and things of that nature like that. So really is nothing to really talk about them, especially, but we all know what it's all about when it comes to this division. It's a 2-team race in this division between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas, obviously, they put a shellacking on shellacking. That cracked me up. They put a beat down on the Cleveland Browns, 33-17. Dak Prescott, 19 for 32, 179 yards and a touchdown pass. So that lets you know what they did offensively. So we're going to dive into that even a little further. Deshaun Watson on the other side as well. 224 for 45, 169 yards and 1 TD as well. So that lets you know how that game was. The Browns suck. And I'm not going to say the Browns. Let me take that back. The Browns as a team have a lot of talent. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy. Okay, offensive line. Even though Nick Chubb is not there, they have Nick Chubb as a running back. Jerome Ford, who I like, is a serviceable running back as well. Defense, Myles Garrett. Denzel Ward still is back there. They have some elite, some nice, some good players on their team surrounded. Deshaun Watson, no. Deshaun Watson stinks. I mean, he can get better, but what I've seen, he's not going to make them a good team. Too busy chasing ass, now he ass. Essentially like that. I mean, it's just, I'm being facetious and funny, but it's just like, seriously, I was not impressed. And then for him not to be as good as he is, turn around, Dak playing the same way. a nice pass on the blitz to Brandon Cooks. They have no one else other than CD Lamb essentially. Uh, Ferguson, the tight end, I believe he got hurt as well. He's gonna miss a couple, a couple games as well. I think it's an MCL if I'm not mistaken. But the Cowboys don't scare me. You have Micah Parsons there. Yes, CD signed. I believe a day before the game. Yes, Dak signed literally before the game. Everyone got their money. Everyone's happy now. But as a team, they just lost too much for me. Can they be better? Is Dak one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL? Yes. Will they win some games? Will they win 9 to maybe some double-digit games? Will they feast on the lesser competition like the Browns and shellac them and do what they gotta do to just rack up wins to make the playoffs? Absolutely. That is what Dak does. That's what they call an empty Dak Zach. I'm not Zach, Dak. Got the bag and said he good. Absolutely. 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 Deshaun Watson, he messed it up for all quarterbacks going forward, I believe. We talk about 200 and something $1 million, and most of it is guaranteed. And he playing like that after 2 years? No, I can't do it. I can't do it. New Jersey Giants, Landover Commanders will have under a roughly 500 season. It's looking like with those. I agree with that. With those quarterbacks, there's no way they can be over 500 or too many games over 500. Essentially, they'd definitely be a sub 500 team. But yeah, that team just does not scare me overall as a team. Like I said, they're missing a lot of players. People were whining about, their money and things of that nature like that. They finally got their money. Can they put it again? Yes, they're going to win some games. Yes, they're going to beat on lesser competition. But as overall, I can't see the Eagles not winning this division moving forward. I see the Eagles, for the first time, especially in this division, for the same team to win the division 2 times in a row. I see that actually coming down the pipeline. Let's look at it. So you talk about the Cowboys' upcoming schedule. We have the Saints, the Saints, the Ravens, Giants, Steelers, Lions, 49ers, Falcons. Obviously, you play the Eagles twice, Commanders twice, Giants twice. You got the Texans, Bengals, Bucks, Panthers. So a reasonable schedule. Middle of the pack. Got the Seahawks slapped in there as well. Like I said, so you got 2 wins over the Giants, 2 wins over the Redskins. Most likely, maybe they split with one of those 2 teams. We all seen the Panthers last night. Bryce Young isn't good. Seahawks, you can get a win. I can see them winning that. Is it in Seattle? Oh, no, that was a piece again. I'm sorry. I went too far up. I apologize. So you're talking about the Bills, rather, I should say. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, you got, okay. So, yeah, so a lot of these teams I can see, like you say, the Browns, the Saints, I can see them beating. The Ravens might be a tough one. The Steelers, the defense, but can they got the offense to match with the Cowboys? Like I said, the Giants twice, Commanders twice. You got the 49ers again. The Lions, that's going to be a battle. Like you said, you got the Eagles, the Falcons. I can see them beating the Texans. That's going to be a battle. But again, like I said, they could still win some games here. The Bengals, they ain't look too good. The Buccaneers, like I said, the Panthers this year, they stink. So I can see them winning 9 games for sure on beating up on the lesser teams and lose to the good teams. But then if you go back and look at the Eagles schedule moving forward, like I said, Monday night, Falcons, Saints. Right after that, that should be 2 wins. The Bucks, that should be the revenge game. So you easily could be 4-0 right there. Browns should be a tough one, but as you can see, Deshaun Watson stinks. The Bengals, they got to get it together, get Jamar Chase playing because he's not even playing. T. Higgins not playing right now. Like you said, the Giants, the Redskins, not Redskins, I'm sorry, Commanders. I mean, you can probably beat both of them twice. Steelers, like I said, the only toughest games I see, maybe the Rams. They got good offensive weapons. Baltimore Rams. That's 2 games. That's what I said. By the end of this stream, I could easily see myself getting up to 13 wins, essentially, like that. But again, when comparing the 2 teams going up against each other, yes, they'll be right there at the center of it all. They'll be right there at the center of it all. with the Cowboys and the Eagles, but at the same time, I don't believe the Cowboys in this present state is a better overall team than the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles right now got one of the top rosters in the NFL on paper. I'm gonna say on paper because they gotta play the games. But again, if game one is any indication of what they can be, how they can grow, and how they can get better, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I got this team winning the division as well. So I look forward to the season going forward. I can't wait to see Cooper making it. Cooper Najee, yeah, he was out there for a little bit. I seen him on a couple of stages, but like I said, he was a little bit behind when it came to that as well. So yeah, man, I'm looking at the comments, just reading everybody's comments. But yeah, the Eagles, they're fine. They're fine, everyone. Slow down, relax. Jalen Hurts, he's fine. He's fine, everyone. Slow down, relax. They are absolutely fine. This team is built. Obviously, we got a lot of growing to do, coaching, the play on the field. And again, I do believe Howie needs to look into upgrading some edge. We need more pressure on there because if Friday night was any indication of how they're going to protect against the Eagles off defensive line, it will be a struggle as we go forward because long as you load up on Jalen Carter, I think a lot of teams will feel real good leaving the other guys one-on-one. So Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, Joe Moo, who had a nice play I seen as well during that game, Milton Williams, all those guys, they got to start stepping it up and getting it going. So overall, like I said, this team is poised to win this division. I do believe they will win this division. And if I want to be frank and I really believe what I believe as far as how good they can be if they actually work on what they need to work on, I can see them winning 13 games this season. And you know what? I'm going to go on record and say we're going to win 13 games. Eagles are winning 13 games. Bold prediction, right? Bold prediction, right? Don't hold it to me like the guy who said it was going to eat poop. Oh, man. Can't wait to see Cooper and Max. Okay. So, yeah, man, Eagles good. I like what I see moving forward. They're going to be good. Jalen's going to be fine. So all you guys that's out there worried about Jalen, Jalen's going to be fine. But what I've seen compared to what I'm reading on Twitter and everything else about Jalen Hurts, how he looks slow, how he didn't look efficient, how he's still doing the same old things, how he's doing this and doing that. I just can't prescribe to that right now because it's week one. And then two, I also seen the positives that we wanted to see him do, standing in the pocket, reading the defenses, getting rid of the ball, seeing if it's a blitz, checking it down, hitting the passes across the middle, hitting Devontae Smith on deep ball, hitting A.J. Brown on the deep ball, running the read option still, getting under center, handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley. All those things I literally seen, and these are all the things that as fans we ask to see from them. Again, old habits rose up, absolutely. But again, you can't sit there and just automatically put that on them, knowing that. And I would say this, I believe this is probably the first time I felt like Jalen has more confidence than ever with his OC, because then I also seen as well, in the past during a game, we would have to rely on supernatural abilities from our players to be able to win games, where I've seen, especially late in that second half when we needed to move the ball, I seen some great play design that was drawn up as well. Like I spoke earlier about the Devontae Smith catch later on, great play design that happened right there. Even early on with the Saquon Barkley play. Great play design. Something in the red zone which the Eagles struggle with in the red zone for the last couple years, if it wasn't a tush push or Jalen being magical and running around and running it in or passing it late, getting it for a touchdown. It was actually something schemed up, called, and it worked. So things like that, and I feel like all these things are accumulating for me. And I'm more so taking those good things and putting it into a pot and saying, all right, we can move this. All right, if we can grow this. All right, if we can continue to learn. All right, if we can, you know what I'm saying, continuity. And again, for as I would say it was a sloppy game by the offense. It wasn't great at all. We talking about as offense as a whole. I probably give them a C as well. Outside of Saquon Barkley, who was an A plus plus plus, give the offense a C as well. But you didn't even get everyone involved. Like I said, Gala only had 4 catches. Jahan Dotson, who we all raved about, he didn't have a catch. I believe he was targeted, but I don't think he had a catch. It was funny watching the game. When they get into the huddle, everyone in the huddle, grass stains all over the place. If you go back and look, Jahan Dotson, every time he came into the game or was in the huddle, I mean, jersey was white as snow. That let you know how much he was involved as far as actually getting the ball, because he was out there quite a bit, which I was actually surprised, and him and Covey alternating that slot or that third receiver position. But again, a lot of different things still has to happen. You still got to get a lot of players involved. You still, like I said, this is only a portion of the playbook that's probably being thrown at them and used on a daily basis. I know there's a lot of different things that they have in their arsenal that they can work on, that they can get better. So I definitely do believe in this team being better, getting better as we move forward to throughout the season. Like I said, I know I played around with the whole 13 wins, but like I said, 13 wins, I'm there and I'm solidified when it comes to that. I do believe this team is that good, barring injury, obviously. Knock on wood, barring injury, obviously. If this team can stay consistent in what they're doing and growing, but then also, staying fairly healthy, I believe this can be a very good season for sure. I do believe it. And they will win the division. The Eagles will win the division. All right. Other NFL news. Obviously we all heard week 1, Tyreek Hill, upon literally on his way to the game, to the field to get ready for the game, getting pulled over and detained by Miami-Dade County Police. Players on their way to the game seen it, filmed it, everything like that. I know you've seen the pictures online and everything. Tyreek, after he scored the touchdown, he did the, arrest me, got his hands behind his back, and Waddle was, pretended to handcuff him as well. The craziest situation. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen, for a moving violation, I've never seen someone get detained like that for moving violation. Outside of them, obviously, having some inclination of maybe, paraphernalia in the car, weapon, anything like that. That's the only thing I can see if they stop you for moving violation and get you out the car, stuff like that. That was probably some of the strangest things, and you guys can let me know down there as well. Some of the strangest stuff I seen as well going into it. It was actually a speeding ticket because the traffic didn't look like he could speed much more than over 5. I don't know what it was. What they just said a moving violation. So maybe he ran a red light, maybe speeding, I don't know. But again, does it require handcuffs? Do it require forcibly being put down on the ground and handcuffed and essentially humiliated, especially because you didn't do anything? Like it was crazy. And like I said, he spoke. He's talking about Miami, especially down in the stadium. You're not moving too fast. Like you can't. I know he was in the Lambo, but you ain't moving too fast down there. So it's like not understanding how that or why that happened. But good one on Tyreek Hill. He feels like he was able to play the game, so it sounds like it wasn't nothing too egregious. Obviously, he made fun of the situation, made light of the situation. It's still a very situation if you want to be real about it, and I'm going to be real about it just for a split second, not to make this too deep, but that was just nuts, though. Let's just be real. That was just nuts. Also, other NFL news, obviously, we all know, we heard, and we seen the new video, and if you didn't see it, and I bring this up because this is, a little bit touching for me. The NFL announced that Kendrick Lamar will be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show this year. Good one for Kendrick Lamar. I'm not mad at Kendrick Lamar because I don't think anyone would turn down the opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl when you're talking about 1 point whatever billion people is watching one show and they're looking at you. It's not on him because I would take it as well. But obviously, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, NFL, they fumbled the bag on this. The Super Bowl is in. You can just say drive a nice car. the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, Louisiana. And if you all know, one of the greatest, and some people will argue the best rapper alive, Lil Wayne, is from Louisiana, New Orleans specifically, at that, and you don't choose him to do the Super Bowl halftime performance. That's kind of nuts. That's kind of nuts to me. That's utterly nuts to me. I don't get that whatsoever going forward. I mean, granted, the Super Bowl is next year in LA. Okay, you could have did it there, but I get it. You know, they're going to spin it like Kendrick's hot right now, not like us is going X, Y, and Z. You know, they want to promote that X, Y, whatever. Whatever. But you fumbled the bag on this NFL. There's no way you have the Super Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana, and don't have Lil Wayne, Lil Tucci, Weezy, all the different names he had throughout his life not perform at the Super Bowl. And it's not like it's just a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I would get that. I mean, Wayne did rock albums. Wayne did songs with Blink 182. Wayne did singing songs. Wayne did R&B. Wayne rapped. Wayne did everything. He was on pop songs. Wayne catalog easily. And I'm not saying people catalogs aren't long, but we talking about catalogs that we actually heard, that were actually put out there to the masses to hear. Wayne catalog is second to none, if you want to be frank. If we talking about hip hop, rap, whatever you want to call it, Wayne catalog is there. So there's no way Wayne shouldn't have been a part of this. No way. They fumbled that. NFL, you fumbled that. You fumbled that Super Bowl halftime performance. Because I don't even think they'd even realize the jazz, blues, throwback, full old school. All that. The bands, the trombone shorty who from Atlanta as well, probably be down there. Like, it's so much that could have happened when it comes to that with this man being his own sin. Because I don't even think they even realize the impact that would have even made on that city alone, knowing that someone of that ilk, that entity, because I do believe he doesn't presently everyday home live in New Orleans. I know he has a home back there, but I don't think he actually lives there. Him to come back, perform at the I believe it's called is it Mercedes Superdome? That's what I last knew it as. They have changed the name so many times. At the Dome, in front of the home crowd, on Super Bowl night, halftime with 1 point whatever billion people watching. The camaraderie, the morale, the financial impact, the community impact. Not that he doesn't do community things now for his city, because he does a lot actually for his city right now. But I'm saying as far as him partnering with the NFL, doing different things like that, it would have just been monumental. Not that it's still the NFL, it's still a machine. All those things still going to happen. But to have Lil Wayne do it in his hometown, in his home state, would have been monumental to the people. Monumental. We all know what New Orleans went through in the past and way back when, still in certain areas, still recovering essentially like that. But it would have been monumental. Granted, I know if someone's going to say in the it is Caesars. It is the Little Caesars Dome or something like that. You're right. Absolutely. I think it's Caesars. I think they have Little Caesars Dome and I believe Atlanta has Mercedes-Benz, or it might be vice versa. But either way, yes, that is it. But either way, yes, I know people in the comments going to comment and say, but Lil Wayne's a Packers fan. That's not the point. His artistry doesn't have anything to do with his fandom, and I absolutely also agree with the fact that I don't believe his fandom of the Packers would impact what he would have done for that city or what he would like to have done. And Lil Wayne is actually on record. The crazy thing is, I believe is about, I want to say about 2 months ago, he was on a podcast. I'm trying to remember who it was on. I can't remember at this moment, but he's on a podcast and they actually asked him. He's on record stating that, they asked him, Super Bowls in New Orleans, did you get a call? Did anyone reach out to you? No one called. No one reached out to me, but I would absolutely love to do the Super Bowl performance. So he's on record stating that this was literally something he looked forward to possibly getting a call for to do the Super Bowl, performance. Because, like I said, not only the catalog, then you talk about the nostalgia effect of this. And I'm not sure how many people know or not, but if you look him up, before Lil Wayne was Lil Wayne, the entity by himself, Wheezy, Lil Tunechi, all the little different things, he was a part of a rap group called the Hot Boys. So could you imagine Lil Wayne performing hit after hit after hit, and then go look it up. You sit there and you hear dun 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 dun. I like them hot, the ones that don't want me to stop. What? The Hot Boys come out on stage and start snapping, start turning up on this. Come on, people. Come on, look it up. Hot Boys. Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Turk, BG, all those cats, man. Man, you talk about someone that would have been out doing an event at home. It don't matter where you at, TV's up, surround sound blasting. We going in. Again, congrats to Kendrick Lamar, though. Like I said, I'm not mad at you accepting it because I don't think anyone would not have accepted the invitation to perform at the Super Bowl outside of Jay-Z. I believe he said that he was never going to do that. But outside of him, I mean, I believe I don't see anyone else that should have been that in that moment for that moment. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Kendrick Lamar, congratulations, Super Bowl halftime performer. Moving on, and I appreciate you guys coming in, stepping when we will be ending shortly. I just want to do a short show today. Didn't want to do it too long. Like I said, it was the first show back for Open Gym in general, and then also the first show with my new partners. Like I said, again, Philly Sports Network and Metro Philadelphia as well, broadcasting live on their YouTubes and channels as well. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also, make sure you go over to everything Open Gym as well on YouTube and all social medias. But we'll get to that at the end. But moving on, where did I want to go? Okay, before I get to that, Eagles. Before we go, like I said, Eagles play on Monday night, Atlanta Falcons. If you've seen the Atlanta Falcons play, I don't have to say much. They stink. Kirk Cousins stink. Bijan Robinson, great talent. Kyle Pitts still to be to be determined with that. They have other weapons as well, Drake London, but again, Kirk Cousins going off week one wasn't good. Defense isn't as good as well. I think I don't take any team for granted. I don't, especially them as players. We're fans. We can take teams for granted. We can say we want to beat them, cook them. I'm just, being a realist because we all know the NFL, but they shouldn't take them lightly, but they, take them serious enough. But also, the Falcons just aren't ready to win yet, and we're catching them at a good time. Not saying they can't get a little better as the season goes on, but we're catching them at a good time. Things aren't going as well. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, and we're talking about Kirk Cousins on Monday night, which that trend, I think he did finally win a primetime game last year, or did he get hurt? Was the year before? Doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins primetime Monday night, and you're here in Philadelphia at the Link, I see us winning that game for sure. But obviously, when we get later on in the week, predictions will come, scores will come, analysis of the game will come. So we're diving into that, a little further later on this week. So you guys stay tuned and hit the notification button for that as well. So Eagles Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock. Atlanta Falcons. Look forward to that. Look forward to the Eagles coming out having a better showing. Hopefully up dominate, but like I said, better showing. Show. Me personally, this season, I'm looking at the Eagles. Each week it should be progression in some facet. If it's running this week, next week should be better. If it was pass protection, if it was pressure, if it was whatever it might be, each week by the end of this season into the playoffs, we should be a more cohesive unit. So look forward to that Monday Night Football. Before we get out here, one more note to share. Sixers, they're almost back. We're on our way. I didn't get to talk to everyone about this just yet. Obviously, I'll do a later show diving into it as we get closer to the season and no more information come out and things get settled. But just quick synopsis of the offseason. Love all the moves. Love the depth. Love everybody getting paid. Like I said, draft maybe a little off on that, but again, it wasn't the craziest of talent in the draft either. So, draft is what it is. But like I said, as far as the offseason free agent acquisitions, Eric Bledsoe, not Eric Bledsoe, oh God, Eric Gordon, Paul George, Kelly Oubre re-signing, Caleb Martin, Kyle Lowry coming back, Tyrese Maxey another year, Joel Embiid another year, Tyrese Maxey getting paid, Paul George getting paid. Like I said, Kelly coming back. I like everything. Got the guy. I'm not gonna even try to say his name right now. I'm gonna learn it though. But the guy from the France national team that we seen, he made his claim to fame, supposedly dunking on LeBron James. Re-signing him at power forward. Andre Drummond here as well, another guy as well. So I look forward to this team. Definitely, Daryl Morey did a good job getting some signees in here and having a good roster be put together with veteran and young guys and just depth in general to be able to continue to play. Second year, Jesus, can't think of the young guy's name right now. I know his Twitter name is like CB4 or something like that. But the guy, dread, light skin. But either way, I like the young guys, the old guys, putting it all together, getting ready for season. Training camp starts October 1st. They'll be in Nassau, Bahamas from the 1st to the 5th. So I can't wait. I'm excited. All the content, everything we got going on with that, to speak on them, get ready for the season, which I do believe this will be, if not the season, a season to be remembered. And not in a negative way, but I'm definitely going to dive into that further along down the line as we get closer to the NBA season. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I do appreciate you guys tapping in with me on this first episode of Open Gym with my new partners, Philly Sports Network and Metro Philadelphia. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to all the YouTubes, all the social media pages, phillysportsnetwork.com, Metro Philly, Open Gym Network. Make sure you tap in with us. Obviously, you see my name at the bottom on all social networks. It's only one AB __, only one AB on __, and on Twitter is only one __ AB. So make sure you follow me on all social networks. Stay up to date. Hit the notification button and stay tuned to everything we got going on here at Open Gym Network. And again, make sure they'll be dropping real soon the Open Gym merch. Got that O up there. Yes, sir. Got a lot of other t-shirts, sweatsuits, different things that's in the making that'll be out real soon. I would say within a couple weeks. You should be hearing something about the hats for sure. So you make sure you tap in with that. Show your support, show your love to Open Gym and Philly Sports Network. And we're going to keep it going and keep it going. Have a good time doing this thing. And I hope you guys enjoy the trip as we go through this whole season. I will have special guests throughout the season, so you make sure you stay tuned in. Trust me, it's some good guests that's going to join me. We're going to obviously have the Sixers trade deadline coming up, Eagles trade deadline coming up. Like I said, special guests, breaking news, interviews, all the above, man. Stay tuned. I'm so happy. I'm so proud to be a part of and partner with Philly Sports Network, because we're going to bring you guys something real special, something different, something fresh. Creating a set here, as you can see behind me. So like I said, it's going to be not just me, not just going to be the same old typical, just one lens looking at one person. I'm going to have people here with me. We're going to discuss, we're going to debate, we're going to analyze, we're going to have amazing fun. We're going to keep it fun, keep it real, and keep it fun, y'all. So I appreciate you guys being here. I'm your boy AB, and this is the new Open Gym. Yes, sir.